Welcome back to another episode of Stacking M's, where we focus on marketing, money, and mindset. I am Tara Payton, marketing consultant and business coach. And today I am going to be talking about the often talked about customer buyer's journey, right? Now, I want to talk about the customer buyer's journey because a lot of people don't really understand what happens at each stage of the customer buyer's journey. And they also don't understand what is the goal or what you should be doing at each stage of the customer buyer's journey to ensure that you are helping people along the journey to purchase and to become loyal, repeat, returning customers, okay? So I look at the customer buyer's journey in 4 stages. There are many different models and many different modes. They may break it down into 7, they may break it down into 6, but for simplicity's sake and for today's podcast, we're going to talk about it in just 4 stages. So the first stage of the customer buyer's journey is awareness. Now, your customer or potential customer at this time is maybe not even aware that they have a problem, and they may not be aware that your brand exists or that your brand actually solves the problem. So the goal here for you as the entrepreneur and within your marketing is to make your customers and potential customers problem aware, right? So your customers may be asking the question like, why is my skin so dry? Or why is my hair going flat after 2 days? So the way that you help them understand that they have a problem is you create content that is going to be educational, that is going to actually help them understand why their hair goes flat after 3 days or why their skin may be dry, right? So you will be sharing things like 3 reasons why your skin is dry or 5 ways to overcome limp hair after 3 days. Okay, so think about how can you help your customer understand the problem that they have in this part of the customer buyer's journey. It's only going to help them move on to the next step. So the next phase of the customer buyer's journey is consideration. And what this means is, okay, the customer is now aware that they have a problem. So they're looking at your brand. They may be looking at some other brands and considering which one to purchase, right? They're not really sold on your brand. They're not really sold on some other brands. They're taking their time to do their research, their due diligence, and they're really thinking about, which one do I purchase, or am I going to make a purchase at all? So the goal for you here is to show the customers that you actually solve their problem, right? Position your product as the one that is actually going to solve the problem that they became aware of in the awareness stage. Now, ways that you can do that is, if you know that your customers have an objection about products that have mineral oil in them and your products don't contain mineral oil, you let them know, hey, our products don't have mineral oil, so there won't be any of the cast formed around your hair, or it won't clog your pores or clog your skin, and it's not harmful. So that's where you want to create content along those lines to address those objections that customers may have. Now, in order to know what objections your customers may have, you got to talk to your existing customers. You got to talk to and do that market research to understand what are some objections that people have when they're looking to buy products that are similar to yours. Now, on the next phase of the customer's buyer's journey, this is purchase. Now, it kind of gets a little confusing because the purchase phase is it doesn't necessarily mean that they purchased the product. This means that they are thinking about purchasing the product. It's what happens right before they purchase the product. It could be that your shipping cost is too high. It could be that they just simply, forgot to check out. It could be that they are not really sold and they need to be sold on why they actually should purchase your products and trust your brand. So the goal here for you is to close the sale, right? You want to be very specific and you want to make sure that you are putting and implementing marketing strategies in this stage that are going to close the sale and get people to purchase. Now, that may look like giving free shipping. That may look like 15% off your first order. That may look like, hey, you forgot your products in the cart and we're going to give you a discount for a limited period of time, right? There's many different ways that you can actually close the sale, but you have to know what is important to your customer at this stage and why they are not moving forward to the next stage, and what are some of those things that may be blocking them in this actual process. Now, you may think that the customer buyer journey stops at the purchase stage. And oftentimes brands that I work with are like, okay, people made the purchase, like, yay, we can celebrate, that's it. But that's not really it. There is a post-purchase stage, which I like to say this is when the real work happens, okay? It's easy to get somebody to buy the first time, but you also have to make sure you are doing your part to retain that customer and keep them excited and build loyalty from them after that purchase. In the post-purchase stage, your goal, and this is something that we used to use in corporate, the term surprise and delight your customers. When someone makes a purchase, they are the most excited at that time. You should be capitalizing on that excitement. Send them a thank you email. Let them know how excited and thankful you are that they made a purchase from your brand. Personalize it, right? If you're using email marketing or text message marketing, make sure you're using people's names. People love to hear their names or see their names. They love to feel personalization. This is where you can really get creative and connect with your customers on a one-to-one level, even though you may have thousands of them, right? Make them feel like they are the only customer that you have. Also, you want to think about how to keep customers coming back and purchasing again, right? So one of the things that I love, and I think it is often overlooked strategy, is putting a personalized note in the order, right? You don't have to handwrite them. There are fulfillment centers that actually will write them out for you, put the customer's name on it. But that touch goes a long way when you see something that's handwritten that says, hey, thank you so much for your purchase. We really appreciate it. You are supporting a business that believes in X, Y, and Z, signed off the founder, right? Another way for you to continue to surprise and delight in that post-purchase stage is to give some free samples in that package. Now, sample sizes are small, they are inexpensive, but based off of the order that the customer just made, what is a complimentary product that you can give them a sample of that you know once they try it and they come back to make another purchase, they're going to want a full size, right? So think about what some of those things are that you can incorporate in your shipping boxes and in the fulfillment of your orders that you do receive. Now, another way for you to actually surprise and delight is to give people a discount incentive on their next purchase. There's no better time than when a person receives their order, right? They're excited, they got their package, they're ready to buy it, they're ready to use it, And so give them an incentive. Say, hey, thank you so much for supporting our brand. Here is a 10% off coupon on your next purchase, right? And I will also say, limit the time frame within which they can use it. It could be 30 days from when they receive their order, or whatever you determine is best for your business. So the customer buyer's journey is not complicated, but you really want to think about what are the things, what are the tactics, what are the strategies that you could be using at each stage of the customer buyer's journey, because you essentially want to get people from the start to the finish. You want to get them from awareness to post-purchase, and you want to keep them in the post-purchase stage, right? And get them to start back in the cycle again. So the customer buyer's journey never stops, and you also want to make sure that you are not only making content or on the front end or the back end of your marketing for one stage of the customer buyer's journey. So as you are creating content, as you are promoting your brand, make sure that you are doing things, creating content, both on the front and back end, that fit within each stage of the customer buyer's journey. Okay, so that is what I wanted to share with you today, and I will see you on the next episode of Stacking M's.
Marketing moves goods towards people. Merchandising moves the people towards the goods.